Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Secret Scenic Wonders of Japan channel. Today, I'll be introducing a beautiful area in the Kansai region, known for its stunning autumn foliage. Let's enjoy this beautiful journey together. First, let me tell you about our current location. This area straddles Mie and Nara Prefectures and has a beautiful valley along the Seirenji River, a tributary of the Nabari River. After passing through this valley, you will reach a plateau covered with silver grass. This place is a popular tourist spot for people living in the Kansai region to enjoy nature. In this issue, we will introduce you to the spectacular view of the wonderful autumn leaves from Kuchidani to Soni Village. The Kuchidani is a valley along the Seirenji River, a tributary of the Nabari River, for a distance of about 8 kilometers. Now, depart from the Seirenji Dam Lake. The autumn colors are starting to look good. This year the autumn colors are later than last year everywhere. This mountain road goes on for a while. By the way, don't you feel a bit sleepy on the motorway because it's so straight? That monotony doesn't really suit me. On the other hand, mountain roads like this are great. I get excited and wonder what scenery awaits me on the next bend. And it brings back memories of, oh, how I miss this road. I hope you all enjoy the feeling of this winding road with my favorite background music, Bakura Ponkatsu riders playing in the background. I'll be sending you this song with as much of a clunker feeling as the title of the song. Oh, you can see the rock face. From here, a series of large columnar jointed rock walls that look as if they were cut apart with an axe. In truth, each rock has a name, but, to be honest, I don't know which one it is. I feel sorry for the person who gave them names, but let's just call them all big rock walls. The white rockfall protection works match the green landscape and look kind of nice. The top of the rockfall barrier is covered with green. Did the earth slide down and leave the area, or was it designed with the landscape in mind? If the mountain is sliding down, it's scary. Beautiful cedar forests are everywhere. There is even a village named Beautiful Cedar Village at the end of the Nabari River. The beauty of the cedar forests in this area must have been well known to the people for a long time. The Seirenji River is very clear and beautiful. I heard that ayu fishing is also available. Ayu is a fish that migrates between the sea and the river, but since the river is cut off by a dam, it seems that the fishery cooperative is releasing ayu into the river. It might be fun to buy a fishing ticket and spend a day fishing. It really is a wonderful place to visit any time of the year. It's good to visit by car, but again, the view from inside a car and the view from a motorbike is, how should I put it, about the difference between a TV and a VR headset. By the way, this area is also great for hiking. However, the prefectural road is narrow and has almost no footpaths, so be careful of passing vehicles. Don't accidentally get too close to cars while admiring the scenery. Now, that rocky mountain is the setting for the legend of Kotaro Rock, which is famous in the region. The legend is quite shocking. Once upon a time, Kotaro, the youngest son of the village chief, refused the courtship of a servant woman he was in love with. The enraged woman poisoned Kotaro's mother and sister. She then pressed Kotaro further, but one day, on the contrary, Kotaro cleverly lured her away and pushed her down to the bottom of the valley from this rock. A story that is 800 years old. Well, it's as afraid as a daytime drama. Here in Soni Village, there is another slightly scary story. The Soni Plateau in this village is famous for its spectacular scenery, and the legend takes place in the Okami pond in the plateau. A long time ago, an extremely beautiful woman called Okami came from the country of Ice to marry into our village. She was the village's super idol. Okami checks the water mirror every morning at the well at the back of the house. She is the originator of what we now call the selfie. Guaranteed to blow up on Instagram. But you know, this Okami is kind of suspicious. She sneaks out every night and comes back in the morning saying, "I'm home." And her shoes are covered in mud. My husband is very concerned about this. I asked her, "Okami, what do you do all night?" She smiled and said, "I'm just praying for a child." It's too serious. On the contrary, it's suspicious. Isn't this completely foreshadowing the drama? In the end, the child is born safely, but Okami-san says, "My role is over, please give me some time off," and goes back to her parents' house. Husband, potty mouthed. And what's more, what happens after that is insane. The child cries so much at night that my husband has no choice but to go to the pond and, "Okami." I shouted, and the Okami came out of the pond and said, "Please don't come back." My husband should have stopped there, but he went out again the next night. Then, there was a big incident. The turtle suddenly transformed into a giant snake. If you were to compare it to a modern CG film, it would be a scene where a serpent with glistening scales is coming at my husband with a gah. Her husband fled at once with the child. He escaped with his life, but soon fell ill and died. Okami, a giant snake, was also burnt to death in a forest fire. Wow, it's such an emotional and somewhat sad story. Since then, it has become taboo in the village to name a child Okami. There is also a story of a young man who became ill after catching a carp from the pond. And the lesson, "Don't defy the master of the pond," has been passed down through the generations. How did you like it? This Okami pond is more than just a pond. It's a mystery spot. A collaboration of beautiful scenery and a seriously scary legend. But be careful if you go. Don't fish for carp in the pond, don't mention the name Okami, and don't get involved if something comes out. When you visit, why not pay your respects to Okami and gently taste the mystery? Over there, a prominent mountain comes into view. It is Mount Yoroide. As the name suggests, it looks like a mountain in armor. Mount Kabutodaki is visible alongside Mount Yoroide. As the name suggests, this powerful mountain, which is reminiscent of a helmet and armor, stands out against the peaceful landscape of the village, and when seen while riding a motorbike, its overwhelming presence is overwhelming. From Couchadani, head straight to Bugue Rock Public Park. Biobu Rock comes into view in the distance. A spectacular cliff, 2 kilometers wide and 200 meters high, like the teeth of a saw. The power of the cliffs can be felt even from here. And in this area, not only Pinku Rock, but also Mount Kabuto and Mount Yorogi are seen in close proximity to each other. It is a landscape of helmets, armor and folding screens, as if the famous generals of history were all here. After turning off the prefectural road and driving 3 kilometers along the forest road, you will come to the Biobu-Iwa Park, located directly below Biobu-Iwa. Weaving through the houses that dot the area, we continued along the forest road. Surrounded by beautiful cedar trees, being careful not to slip on the fallen leaves. We finally arrived. There is space for several cars to park. Just above the parking lot is the park square. Looking up from here, you can see a large rock wall that covers the sky and the brilliant autumn leaves. The beautiful scenery of unusual columnar joints such as Yoroi Dake, Kabuto Dake, and Biobo, Iwa, seems to be designated as a national natural monument. The autumn leaves in fall are also wonderful, but in spring, about 300 mountain cherry trees over 100 years old are said to be in full bloom. Well, I would like to come back in spring. Now, when you come down from the Biobu Iwa Park, you will find a restaurant. The name of the restaurant is Hue. Well, I was starving, so this was a fateful encounter. When I looked at the menu, I found something called Sasuke Udon, which seems to be a local gourmet dish. It is said to be based on the image of silver grass, but it tastes and looks quite exquisite. Then I asked the landlady, who seemed friendly enough, where is the best viewpoint of Mount Yoroidake? I asked her. She told me, oh, that's near store 27 feet. So, here we are, at the point with the best view. What do you think of this? Isn't it a superb view, with the sharp rocky peak of Yoroidake clearly reflected in the blue sky? If you come from the direction of Kochidani, you might pass by this point, but please stop and take a look. Next, we followed the super healing space, Seijobo Waterfall. The waterfalls here are characterized by their emerald green pools and waterfalls that lie in a deep ravine. It is located at the foot of Mount Kabuto, not far from the center of Soni Village, and is easily accessible. Park your motorbike where it does not interfere with the public road and go in the back. If you are coming by car, you will have to park on the road, but as it is a forest road, park your car where it will not cause any inconvenience. This promenade is marked as the Tokai Nature Trail. Follow the well-maintained footpath along the canyon's valley line. The surrounding cliffs are columnar joints unique to this zone. The rocks and stones are covered with moss and a little slippery. Proceed slowly, watching your step. The valley is said to have once been home to a Buddhist temple called Sai-jo-bo, where ascetic practitioners purified themselves by ascetic practices and looked up to the spirit of Buddhist guardian deity. The valley is formed by a series of limpid waterfalls and emerald green pools, with rocks of various sizes forming the beauty of the valley. Two trees are making a nice catch on a large rock that is at least 1.5 meters high. It would be bad if such a thing were to hit properly. The upper waterfall has a drop of about 8 meters, while the lower waterfall has a drop of about 15 meters. This waterfall has been selected as one of the 100 best waterfalls in Nara Prefecture. The emerald stream and autumn leaves are deeply beautiful. The air is also good, and the negative ions are not half bad. This is the Tokai Nature Trail, which continued further back, but I'm turning back here. Now, when it comes to Soni Village, Soni Highlands is definitely the classic spot. This time, I would like to introduce my favorite spot. The trail follows the ridge from the Kamayama Pass at the top of the Soni Plateau and enters the forest at a place called Nihon Boso, where there is a superb viewpoint from which the whole plateau can be seen. On the way, there are rocks and it is quite a steep climb. The difference between regular exercise and non-exercise is clearly visible. But the view that unfolds beyond the climb is, shall we say, a spectacular paradise. It's a level of excitement that will reset your life a bit, without flattery. The moment you finish the climb, you'll find yourself momentarily determined to exercise more. Where there is a superb viewpoint from which the whole plateau can be seen. The Soni Plateau here is a place where you can enjoy beautiful scenery all year round, with fresh greenery in summer, silver grass in autumn and mountain burning in early spring, but especially the silver grass and sunset at this time of year are the best scenery. It's a pity it's cloudy today. If you visit on a clear day, by all means, wait until sunset and then take a bath in the Okami no Yu on the way home, which I think is also exceptional.